Looks like I'm walking the bike home, so let's have some fun, boys. Doesn't look like they touched the map here because this is all stock fueling. So little messing with the tune in 15 minutes of my time, and here we have it. Okay everybody, this is not how I wanted to start today's video or make this video at all, but we're gonna have to. So we're gonna go get the KLX right now, pick it up from the dyno shop, not because it's done, but because the shop is playing games, which I'll explain to you later in this video. But right now we got to get the KLX. I'm on the FZ-09, as you can see. I don't have a truck. My parents have trucks, they're both at work, but I'm not gonna let the KLX sit at this shop all weekend. Alright guys, here we are arriving to the facility of the shop. I'm gonna park the FZ-09 somewhere else, and I'm gonna go ahead and go get my bike. Alright guys, I'm gonna stick this in my pocket here. Let's go. Looks like I'm walking the bike home, so let's have some fun, boys. It's gonna be a pretty decent walk home. Well, here we are, halfway home. This is not fun, pushing up and down hills, I can tell you that. Ah, yes, finally a hill that we can roll down until the next uphill, which is right here. Fun. This is gonna suck.
Not supposed to be riding you?
Come on. Almost to the downhill. Give the biker a wave. Just because your bike isn't working doesn't mean you can't give the biker a wave. Come on. Oh man, not another hill. Alright guys, almost home. Got a little bit of a downhill there. And then, yeah, we're screwed. Come on, don't kill my momentum. Oh, this is gonna suck. Alright guys, made it to my neighborhood. I'm gonna have my brother tow me with his motorcycle now. Okay everybody, before we get on the FZ-09 and talk about why I have the KLX here and it's not done, let me show you in its current state. I was going to make another video about this, but things took a turn and here we are. So we have an FI issue here and a coolant light. That's new. It wasn't doing that when I took it in. I'm gonna check here, see if they did tune it, did do anything here. I'm gonna plug it into my laptop and see if we can't go ahead and pull a map off there. Let's go ahead and plug in our power commander. Okay, we're plugged in there. Okay, I don't know what to say here. Map 1, we have no fuel added in here, so 0% throttle, 100% throttle, no fuel added in. So the dyno shop said that they had it on the dyno, working out some issues as to why the KLX wouldn't idle and whatnot. But in my opinion here, I don't think they had it on the dyno. But I don't know, it doesn't look like they touched the map here because this is all stock fueling. We're at negative 10% for fueling. Throttle percentage is 1%. Let's see if that is active. %. So the throttle position sensor is working. They didn't do anything to the map. They said that they had it on the dyno a few times. The issue that they said that they had is that they couldn't get the bike to idle or run. I don't know what to say right now. Well, that answers my question. I mean, I made a video because the KLX wasn't going to get done. It was going to be an update. In that video I said that we're having issues with it idling and not starting. I thought possibly it was the throttle position sensor because the guy from Florida, when he bored the throttle body, he had to take the throttle blades out, and so maybe I thought they were misaligned. Looks like that the map was just, you know, way too lean. So little messing with the tune in 15 minutes of my time, and here we have it. Alright guys, so as you can see right here, this is what I did to the tune from 250 RPM to about 4,000 here. So added, I don't know if this is too much fuel, too little fuel for the big bore. I obviously don't have an AFR gauge, but you know, it's just a simple thing, adding some fuel in, 60% fuel all the way to 15% throttle down to about 4,000 RPM, you know, 45 here, whatever. So as you can see, it's pretty messy. But I didn't want to start it up too lean, obviously, with the big bore and all that. And then I didn't want to put too much fuel in because of cylinder wash. And since it wasn't firing, you know, you're spraying fuel in there. So got a safe tune on here, I guess. And then when the bike would fire, it would jump to about 3,000 RPM. So I'm like, well, why is it trying to idle up there? So it came down here, turned down the idle with the set screw here. And as you saw, it fired right up. Alright, now that the bike is running, let's go ahead and jump on the FZ, and I'll tell you why I had to bring the KLX home in the first place. Okay, all fueled up, let's go ahead and talk about why I had to take the KLX back from the shop, why it's not done. So as you guys know, a couple weeks ago I took the bike down to EDR Performance, and when I called them, I said, hey, I'd like to drop off my bike tomorrow. I have an event next week, So I called him on a Thursday. I said, I have an event next weekend, so the next Saturday, saying, do you think that'd be reasonable for the bike to be done if I were to bring it down to you tomorrow? I said, yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem. We should be able to get that done. I said, okay, great. And then the next week comes around, and it's getting towards the end of the week. Thursday, Friday, they close on Saturday. So I called Thursday or Friday, asked, or I believe it was Friday. I said, hey, any update on my KLX? And the guy who answered the phone said, yeah, let me check. Comes back, said, oh yeah, you're a few bikes back on the dyno, so we're getting close. Said, okay, I'll check in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, the last working day. They give me the same story, say it's going to be on the dyno. Said, okay, great, I'll wait all day, because Saturday was the day of the event I was supposed to go to. And then I never get a call back from them. So I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. I missed my event. Really wanted to go to that event, but I guess I'll just have to wait until next week. So the next week comes, I ride my bike down there, talked to them on Tuesday. They said, oh yeah, you're on the schedule for the 16th. Tuesday was the 16th. So it should be done today or tomorrow. I said, okay, that's great. So they told me that it was going to be done Tuesday or Wednesday of that week. This is their head operatives guy. So that's fine. Say Tuesday or Wednesday, great. Should have the bike back soon. That's why I said in my post I was hoping to have the bike done this last week, but hopefully for Tuesday. So I called them back Wednesday. They finally get around to actually putting that Pawsy tap on, like I brought it to them. So they said, okay, we're going to have it on the dyno here soon. I get a call back 10 to 15 minutes later, and they say the bike doesn't want to start, doesn't want to idle. I said, okay, well that's weird. You know, I had the bike fired with the EJK before I brought it down. Said the only thing that's changed is the ported head and the bored throttle body. So since the guy had to take the blades out for the bored throttle body, or maybe the blades became out of adjustment, alignment, and well, that could be it. So, oh yeah, that's good information. We had a ZX14 that came in and it had a similar issue. I said, okay, great. So it was the end of the day, Wednesday. I called them on Thursday. They said, oh, it was one of those end of the day things. We didn't get to it. I said, okay, so what's the game plan? He said, how about you call me tomorrow on Friday at 10:30? Okay, go to call him, 10:30, didn't get a hold of him until 1 o'clock, and he says, oh yeah, we're going to have it on the dyno in a few minutes. I said, oh, it's going to be on the dyno, so was it a throttle position sensor? So he said, that's what we're going to find out. So in my head, I'm wondering, well, if it doesn't start, how are you going to put it on the dyno to see if the throttle position sensor was the issue? So that was Friday. They said they were going to have it on the dyno. I called back later in the day, said, hey, did you get a chance to see what was up while I was in idling? Said, no, couldn't get a straight answer from anybody. So had to wait all the way till Saturday. Then they tell me, yeah, it's going to go on the dyno again today. I said, okay. So I figured I'd wait a little bit, gonna try and call him, couldn't get a hold of him. And so my dad had some time, he tried to call him, and then they started getting real difficult, saying, why am I even talking to you? Basically, it's not your bike. And then things got real sour, and they said, you know what, come pick your bike up. So that's how it all happened. I went there, went and picked the bike up, walked it home. While I was talking to the gentleman there, he started to say, well, I don't have time for people calling me, you know, for progress updates. I said, well, yeah, if someone tells me that they're going to get something done, and then I don't hear from them, what do you expect me to do? Then he tried to keep on hammering in the point, saying that, well, you know, I don't have time for this, we go through a lot of bikes. I said, I know you go through a lot of bikes, but as a customer, if you tell me you're going to do something, you know, I'd expect that you get it done. So he also said that I installed the power commander wrong, that there were shorts in the system. How could I install a power commander wrong when all it is a bunch of pigtails? So when I got it home, I verified that it worked. I showed you guys that. And then they also said that they had it on the dyno. Well, I pulled the map and it was a 0 map. So, in my opinion, I don't think they had it on the dyno. I think they were just stringing me along. And come on, for me to be able to fix it in 15 minutes by just adding a little bit of fuel, checking out the throttle body, you know, I checked for the blade sealing, I checked the sensors, made sure that the blades were aligned at least. And then I saw that it was firing to nearly 3,000 RPM, so the idle needed to be turned down. I did that, and as you guys saw, it started up. For them to have my bike for 2 weeks, and it appeared that they did nothing, that's just not really acceptable, especially since they're a highly reputable shop, been in the business for 20 years, whatever. I don't care about that. It's the fact that they said that, hey, they'd have it on the dyno, I'd call, they didn't do it, it seems like. And then they complained that I call for an update when they said they do something. That's not really acceptable customer service. So to be honest, I'm glad that my dad called and they told him to come pick up the bike. I'm glad I walked the bike home, because if so, the bike would still be down there doing nothing, and they'd be working to solve this issue that it appears that, I don't know, maybe they just weren't even trying on it. So yeah, quite the video with the KLX. The reason it took so long, obviously, is because I thought the bike was going to be done throughout this last week, so I figured that I'd wait until it would be done to make the video, but obviously that didn't happen. The KLX is running now, and I'm glad that I was able to figure it out since the shop couldn't do it for me. All we have to do now is take it to another dyno shop. There's several other reputable shops around here that do dyno tuning. Of course, I'll let you guys know when I take the KLX to the dyno and what they say as for when they're going to be able to tune it. But that is going to be the end of the video. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also share it to your friends and those who may enjoy it. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, go down there, hit that subscribe button, get the bell on to keep up with all the content. KLX FZ-09 Corvette. But with all that being said, join the club, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm the motherfucker.